Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So you guys, this right here is just a couple of days in the life. We're in the kitchen and I had previously ground up some chicken that we found in our freezer and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. So I thought, you know what, I'll make some chicken barbecue. This is my go-to crock pot when I need something heated very quickly. It's a small, probably about half the size of a regular crock pot, and it heats up extremely quick. So it was later in the evening. I did a mixture of the G. Hughes Polynesian with the sweet chili. Had a little bit left over in that bottle and wanted to get it all out. So I used a tiny bit of apple juice just to get the rest out of that bottle. I didn't want to leave anything in the bottle. But I put this on high for an hour or so, and the kids and I were able to eat this with no problem. Sometimes while I like to have freezer meals, sometimes I like to have freezer ingredients because I may not want a freezer meal. Here it is. I was making our dehydrated tomatoes. They went, and so I'm just filling my jar. I keep that in my fridge with just some olive oil. And here I am just putting those back in the jar. This is a very easy task to do. Once you have your produce washed, dried, and cut in half, you just throw them in the dehydrator. We actually use this every single week. I am not a huge fan of having appliances that I don't use. And so, yes, I do use these in my weekly rotation of things that we do. About midway through the dehydrating process, we rotate our trays so that there's even dehydration time for all of the things. And it's worked out well for us over these weeks. Y'all already know that we do money things around here. So here I am just sitting with my budget, figuring out what I need to do, what bills need to come out, how I need to move with my money. And I write it down. I do a spreadsheet, but I am one who likes to write some things down as well, just how my brain processes information. It helps me keep track of all the things that I need to do. And so for me, this just works for my lifestyle. Then I try to transfer what I wrote down back to my spreadsheet, or I try to clip it, paper clip it, staple it to the back of my printed copy of my spreadsheet. It just helps me to make sure that I'm keeping everything on the up and up with my finances. One of the major places people get into trouble are finances, and partially that's because we don't plan. You have got to give your money jobs. If you fail to give your money jobs, then your money will not go to work for you. And you must have your money work for you instead of the continued storyline or narrative that you work for your money. Your money is subject to your spending habits, your proclivities, whatever it is that you want to do, your emotional spending, your habits of spending, your lack of savings, whatever it is, however you operate, your money is going to come into alignment. A lot of people show where their heart is, where their money is. Mama is sitting on my lap just in case you hear heavy breathing. It's Mama. So again, I like to touch my budget quite often. It's one of the things that that I do regularly. I don't leave my money up to chance. I try to keep a track. And this month, for the month of May, I have some goals that I have in mind. So I am going to definitely keep a very strong presence in my budget to make sure that we're on track. And here I am, y'all. I got a wild hair this morning and wanted to move some things around. I really am trying to cut the backlighting. You can tell this video is backlit right here, this portion of the video. And it's because I don't have the best lighting in my home. But what I can't seem to do is bring myself to buy those big box lights. I am one that cannot have a lot of mess in my house or a lot of things. I'm a cricket. Sometimes I have piles of things until I'm able to deal with them. But having those big lights in my house all the time and then having somewhere to store them is just not something I can do. So I was trying to put my desk in front of the window because I heard that you can gain some natural lighting by filming in front of a window. And so I was getting Jackson to come over and help me move the desk because I just thought it would, it would work out for me. I didn't want to take everything off and then have to put it back. So it was a little bit heavy. And you'll notice Jackson will come over and help me in a sec, try to move the desk. And he's like, Mom, I thought you didn't want your back to the, you didn't want your back to everybody. I was like, yeah, you're right. But I was giving it a go, right? Giving it an opportunity, just going to see how it worked out. I got this rug from Walmart. I did not have rugs in the house except the one by the couch. And I don't plan to fill my house full of rugs, but the floor is very slippery for the dogs. And so in order that they are a little bit comfortable in the house, I did put down this extra rug. It gives them a place to sleep or lay. And I put down one other rug that is like a go-between the living room and the kitchen. So again, here's Jackson helping me. And I think if I had not had shelves on the side where I have things sitting, it might have worked there. But for some reason, just having my back towards the main house is not a comfort level for me. And sometimes I have paperwork that I have not filed yet sitting on the desk. And I don't want that to be the first thing I see when I come in the house. Now, one of the things that I was able to do that I thought was very helpful was the legs of my lights always get caught in the desk. So I said, you know what? What if I close the legs, collapse the legs on the lighting, and then because I have metal legs for the desk, I could put the lighting flush against the desk, or as flush as I could get it. And then I use zip ties to zip tie the lighting to the desk so I don't have to keep moving it, or it's not getting stuck at the bottom and the legs are getting stuck with the table and the desk. It was just a whole bit of a process. But I actually ended up zip tying the lighting to the legs and it worked out perfectly. Okay, so here is where I didn't love the desk there. So I ended up moving the desk back to where it was because it's fine there. I would prefer it be out of the way than in the way. And I ended up putting in my chair, which I had in the middle of the room. I ended up making that prayer chair. Remember when I first moved in the house, I had a prayer area. And so what I did was I just went ahead and repositioned it by the window. That makes for good lighting, especially because it's getting ready to be summertime and I'm about to be out of school for the next 10 weeks at the end of May, 1st of June. And I like to wake up early in the morning. I'm a morning person. And so I get up in the morning, get my coffee. I'll sit here with my Bible, a book or whatever, and I'll just do a little reading or a little praying, whatever. And that works out so very much. One of the things that makes me laugh quite often is people have told me before, Shakema, you just need to get a man to help you move stuff. And I thought, it's been 14 years since I've had a man in my home. I'd never get anything moved if I waited for a man to do it. I could hire it out, but I'm strong enough to do it. So I just move the things on my own, or my kids will come in and help me. I also do things like this to teach other people that you can do things, right? We have the ability to do things. We don't have to wait on somebody else. I'm not saying we're independent and we don't need people, but I am saying if there's a project, something that needs your immediate attention and you're able to do it, then why not do it? Why am I waiting for somebody else to come in and do the things that I have physical capabilities of doing? Moving that chair was not heavy. I could have put it on movers if I could remember where they were. I couldn't remember, so I just picked up the chair. It is very light and moved it, no problem. Now the marble table, that's a whole nother level of situation. So I had to get some help to move that. And I know my limits. I know what I can do. I'm teaching my daughter that she does not have to wait on someone else, her brothers or anybody, that she is able to do things. Shamika and Keith put together the desk. They did it for me as a couple. But Shamika, she knows those types. She can read a instruction, put it together, no problem. Her and Keith worked well, helping me. So I want to empower women, inspire women, not to wait for somebody else to do it for you before you determine that there are certain things that you can do for yourself. When I'm in these videos, just, doing stuff, a lot of people say, Shakema, you inspire me to do a little better. That's the goal, right? To inspire us all to do a little better. Don't do it to my standard. Do it to your standard and what the Lord has allowed you to understand and do for your household. But as for me and my house, this is what I do. This is what brings me joy, to serve in my home, to make a space that is enjoyable, that is peaceful, that is loving, that is nurturing, that is welcoming and inviting. You are welcome here. That's how I want my house to feel when people enter. Like I purposefully want them to be here, and I do. So I hope you feel that when you watch the videos. And if you've ever been, if I've ever been fortunate enough to have you visit my home, I do pray and hope that you have felt welcomed. I hope that you have felt that the house was clean and it smelled good, and you felt invited to be here, because that's how I go about my day, trying to make people feel a way that they may have never felt before. And so that's important to me, to be able to create that atmosphere or set that atmosphere in my home. And I do hope and pray that people feel like that when they come here. Back to the video. So I'm doing a little bit of vacuuming here. We have dogs, and it doesn't matter how much you sweep. I always go back in with the vacuum, and a couple times a week we'll come in with the wet mop. It just helps to keep the house sanitary, to keep the house smelling fresh, to keep everything looking ship shape just like it should. Because again, that's my role as the mom, and I don't mind playing my role as the mom. It's very important to me to create a household of welcome, of invitation, even for my children to be invited into this space is important to me. So don't neglect that portion of your household duties, y'all. And can I just tell you, this little girl who hates the camera, she always finds a way to kind of bust a move, and I never know it's there until after the video has completed and I'm editing. She's like doing a funny face, or she'll do a dance move, or she'll bust out in song. But she hates being on the videos. Why people don't see her quite a lot. Jackson doesn't mind. Shamika loves the video. Trandon, he'll do it, but he doesn't love it either. My two middle kids are the same, and my oldest and youngest are the same. So, I always take joy in those little moments when Alana can express herself, right? And you all get to see her personality, because it's honestly just not her to be involved in the videos. So anywho, we're just finishing up the living room and doing all the things that need to be done. This does take a toll on my body because I am working full time. I am in ministry full time. And people, when they hear that, they go, how's she working 3 full-time jobs? I sleep very little. I work my regular job 7 to 3. Then I come home. I jump immediately into social media or immediately into ministry, which usually is social media. And my kids do all the other things. So I'm up from 4 in the morning, probably until about 10 or 11 at night. And I'm doing something for somebody, or working, like I said, my social media, cleaning my home, doing things that keep this channel moving, doing things that help to motivate other people to keep their households moving. So it is a full production around here. I may not be working 3 40-hour-a-week jobs, but I'm doing just as much, if not more, than your average individual. That is my portion in life at this moment. Can it change? Will it change? At some point, I'm sure it will change. But for right now, this is where God has me. And again, it is my joy to serve my people, the people that God has given me, my family, my kids. And y'all, when I was done with that, trust me, I was a little bit worn slap out. So I just sat down in this chair and I just rested my nerves for a few minutes. I was like, oh, Lord, because I'd moved that desk. I'd moved some other things. I'd moved the chairs, which you don't see me moving. I'd moved the 2 chairs that were sitting here. And it does take a toll, right, when you're doing a lot at one time, because I have to film primarily on the weekends. I don't have weeknight time to really film. I'm working those, again, my social media. Then I wanted to make sure that I could just stay hydrated, get a quick beverage. And Jack is always helping me. My kids just help me. They're beautiful individuals, and they are always good to me. And down for whatever I'm down for. So anywho, that was part 1. We're jumping now into the bedroom. I think this was a different couple of days that I was trying to get stuff done. And you guys, I look at these videos, and the weight journey is a journey. I think I filmed this video actually before the other video, but I just threw it in here. And so I still see areas where I need to work. And of course, I'm not wearing shapewear at this moment. But, God is good. He's gracious. He's allowing me to walk through the journey. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I've been there before. I know what it's like and understand the process. And so I just continue to work the process. But again, my home is the place where I find to minister. So I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping and house cleaning. I don't always get to do this before I leave in the morning. So I do like to have a made bed before I go to bed. I can't remember what time. I think this is nighttime, looking in the windows. So again, if I can't get it done until the evening, at least it still gets done. Take the pressure off yourself of always having to do it at the time people think it should be done, but do it, right? A lot of people ask me, how do you homeschool? Well, here in North Carolina, the state does not regulate the hours that I homeschooled. It just said I had to homeschool a certain amount of hours. So my kids would do homework in the morning and we would have instruction in the evening, right? You can flip-flop your day as long as you get things done. So I am a big proponent of that. Make things happen in your life that need to happen when they can happen for you. Don't not do it. Don't get discouraged because you didn't get it all done, but do something. A freshly made bed just does something for your life. It does something to help you. It does something to give you wind beneath your wings. And so I just am in agreement. Like I said before, I've had some mad days, sad days, and bad days, but I've just decided not to have those anymore. And I create my new normal, my now reality. And I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose rest. I choose abundance. I choose anything that God has said over my life. I choose that for my life. So again, this video is turning into a motivational speech, but hey, be the motivated by the cleaning, be the motivated by the speech, be the motivated by knowing that you can do all of the things that you need done in your life. Again, not perfect. I had some clothes that needed to be put up. Sometimes things will sit and wait for me until I have time to get them done. And when I have time to get them done, I do them all. And so I'm just going to put up some clothes. It's hard for me to see these pictures or these videos, especially pre-weight loss journey. But I force myself to watch them and not edit them out because this is the true journey for me, right? Like I said, I think this was filmed 2 weeks ago. The red was filmed a week ago, but I just put it in here because I had the footage, right? And I didn't want to lose it. So I'm just putting up clothes here, getting all of the things done. And God is very gracious to allow me to watch and view and enjoy the journey at the same time. And just like a freshly made bed, there's nothing like carpet lines to give you a little wind beneath those wings. Like I said, we do have dogs and we have carpet in the bedrooms. So it is imperative that we vacuum. I double vacuum my rooms whenever I vacuum them, just to make sure I pull up the first amount of dog fluff. And then I go back in for any additional dander and dog fluff that might have been passed over on the first pass. And yes, I do worship and vacuum. I worship and make the bed. I sing and vacuum. I'll stop mid-sentence and cut a step. It does not matter. Mid-cleaning and do all the things, right? Because God is so very gracious to me. So, you know, do what works for you in your space, in your household. I love the Lord, and I'm never going to deny him his due. I could be mid pass on the vacuum. I'll stop, do the holy dance, and get right back into it. Well, Shakema, isn't that pretense? Isn't that you just pretending? I never pretend about what God has done for me. And when I think about his goodness, My soul cries out hallelujah. And whatever I'm doing and wherever I am and whoever I'm with, you might just get caught up in a glory cloud. So just know that if you planning to be in my presence, the glory cloud can come down and do all of the things, and you might just get caught up. Here we are spraying down a little bit of furry freshness. There's a link to this in my description box. We had a few stains that we just could not figure out how they got there, but furry freshness does its job, and we spray it on, saturating it very well. And then what happens is that stain no longer exists. I don't think I've seen the 2 stains we sprayed the next day after. And if I see it, it's very light, and we just spray it again, saturate it really good, and that furry freshness tends to get that stain up out of that carpet. Again, we have carpet in the house and dogs, so I do try to make sure that I am mindful with what I spray so that they are not being adversely affected by any chemicals in the home. And then, of course, we like to go over and do a roll of all the furniture pieces. Again, because of dogs and hair just flies everywhere. But we do try to maintain a high level of cleanliness in our home. I don't know. You just have to work your way through it. Alrighty, you guys. So thank y'all so much for joining us for that kind of a couple of days in my week. A couple days in a couple of weeks. This is why vlogging is hard for me, because I can't ever get it all done in 1 week. Okay. I just got back from the brunch. I drove to South Carolina, and then I drove back. So it's a 2-hour drive, 145 solid. There and back. My cousins put on a Mother's Day brunch, and they invited me, and one of my other sisters was there as well. And so I'm just getting home. I'm tired. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I'm drinking water, and I am sitting here listening to the Titus 2 video from this morning, and it's really good. God is truly blessing me, and I'm very thankful for that. If you are looking for a ladies group, you don't have a group, you don't have a church home at this time, and you just want to join a group of women that love God. I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything else other than that, because nothing else is true. We just love the Lord, and we love each other, and we are there to help each other grow and stretch, and it's been amazing. Just send me an email. We'd love to have you with us. We would. But I am tired, and so I'm going to call it a vlog here. I do want to thank y'all again for stopping by and hanging out. You know, we doing all the things over here. Be blessed, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye now.